Okay, I am here in day 3 CAMI assignment. I've clicked on my drawing tool and I'm going to solve this equation. 15.5 minus 6x equals negative x plus 5.5. Remember, when an equation has decimals in it, we could just solve the equation with decimals in it if we wanted to, or we could eliminate the decimals by multiplying by some power of 10 so that I'm only dealing with integers. And so when looking at this equation, I see that 15.5 and 5.5 have one digit after the decimal. And so if I wanted to multiply both sides of this equation by some power of 10, so that those numbers would be integers, I would multiply by 10, right? If there's a one digit after the decimal. If there were two digits after the decimal, I will multiply not by 10, but by 100, right? And so on. If there were three digits after the decimal, I would multiply by 1,000, right? So you kind of get the idea there. So let's multiply this left side by 10. Okay, notice how I'm putting the left side in parentheses to multiply by 10. And if I multiply the left side by 10, I should also multiply the right side by 10. Okay, now notice how I put parentheses around it. I put the 10 on the right side. It does not matter which side I put the 10 on. I could put it here or here. I will still need to distribute to eliminate the parentheses. So let's do that. Follow our 5 steps to solve equations. So I'm going to go 10 times 15.5. Now here's the reason I'm multiplying by 10, because multiplying by 10 is the same thing as moving the decimal one place to the right. And so if I move the decimal one place to the right, 10 times 15.5 is 155. Okay, then I have 10 times negative 6x. That would be negative 60x. Don't forget your variable. I bring my equal sign directly down. Over here, I distribute the 10 as well. So 10 times negative x, that's negative 10x. And 10 times 5.5, again, multiplying by 10 is like moving the decimal one place to the right. So 10 times 5.5 is positive 55, right? Okay. As you can see now, all my numbers, all my terms are integers, right? There are no more decimals. And so I continue following the 5 steps. After I eliminate parentheses, step 2, I combine like terms. I look on the left, no like terms. I look on the right, no like terms. Step 3, get the variable on one side. Let me get the x term on the right side so that it's positive. To undo subtraction, I use addition. So I'm going to add not 60, but 60x, right? I add 60x to both sides. So those 60x's are gone, and I'm left with 155 on the left side. Bring my equal sign down. Negative 10x plus 60x, that is 50x. Bring the plus 55 down as well. Okay, so I got my variable on the right side. That must mean I need my numbers on the other side, on the left side. So I undo the addition by subtraction. I subtract 55 from both sides so that those 55s will cancel. 155 minus 55 is 100, equal to 50x. Fifth and final step, solve for x by dividing both sides by the coefficient of x, which would be 50. So when I divide both sides by 50, x is equal to 100 divided by 50, which is 2. Circle final answer. So x is 2. This right here is what I should see for solving this equation. Okay. Second example. So I scroll down and see a second example. This time there are fractions in this equation. Again, I could solve the equation with leaving the fractions in there if I wanted to, but if I had the choice to solve an equation with fractions and solve an equation with only integers, I would choose not the fractions, but the integers, right? So let's solve this equation by eliminating the fractions by multiplying both sides of the equation by the least common denominator or the least common multiple of those denominators. So I'm putting both sides of the equation in parentheses because I'm going to multiply it by the LCM of 3 and 6. So what is the least common multiple between 3 and 6? That would be 6, right? So let's multiply the left side by 6, or 6 over 1, and the right side by 6, or 6 over 1. So notice how I multiplied both sides of the equation by the same thing, by 6. Now let's follow the 5 steps to solve equations. So I have 6 times negative 2. That would be negative 12. And I have 6 times 5/6 x. Now, pay very careful attention here. I am distributing a positive 6, right? So I'm going to put positive 6 or positive 6 over 1 times this term right here. And this term is a positive 5/6 x. Okay, so again, I have positive 6 times a positive 5/6 x. I'm going to come back in a little bit and simplify this, but for now, I'm going to leave it just like that. I'll bring my equal sign straight down. I'm going to distribute this 6. So 6 times negative 2/3 x. So 6 over 1 times negative 2/3 x. Again, don't forget your variable. Please don't forget your variable. 6 times 1, that is positive 6. Okay? Now I'm going to go through and cross simplify my fractions so that I end up with only integers. All right, so I'm going to bring the negative 12 down. Now here I can cross simplify 6 over 6, right? What is 6 over 6? Isn't that 1? Yep. So I'll cross those 6's out and make them 1s. So as you can see now, this is a 1, right? 1 over 1. I have 1 times 5x. What's 1 times 5x? Positive 5x. Don't forget your variable. This is an x term. I have to have the variable x. I bring my equal sign down as well. Also cannot forget your equal sign. This is an equation, and an equation needs an equal sign. Over here, I can cross simplify 6 over 3. What is 6 over 3? That would be 2, right? Or 6 and 3 are both divisible by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I cross simplified. So now I have 2. This term right there is 2. And this is negative 2x. What's 2 times negative 2x? That would be negative 4x. And then I have a plus 6 that I bring down. From this point, you should be very comfortable solving this equation from this point on. Step 2, I'm going to get my, after I did step 1, I eliminated parentheses by the distributive property. Step 2, combine like terms. Left side has no like terms. Right side has no like terms. Step 3, get the variable on one side. So I'm going to move this negative 4x to the left side by adding 4x to both sides. So those x terms cancel. So I'm going to bring the negative 12 down. 5x plus 4x is positive 9x equal to, I only have 6 left over there. Okay, now that my variable is on the left side, I'm going to get my numbers on the right side. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Add 12 to both sides. So those 12s cancel. I have 9x equal to 6 plus 12 is 18. Solve for x by dividing by the coefficient, which is 9. When I divide both sides by 9, x is equal to 18 divided by 9, which is 2. So x equals 2, circle final answer. All right, so you try number 3. It has decimals in there. As you can see, there is 1 digit after the decimal in each of these terms. 1 digit after the decimal, 1 digit after the decimal, 1 digit after the decimal, and 1 digit after the decimal. So I will need to multiply both sides of this equation by 10 so that all the decimals will move one place to the right, and I'll end up with integer terms. Okay, and then you try number 4 that has fractions in here. And so I'm going to look at my denominators. My denominators are 3, 3, 3, and 3. So what is the least common multiple of 3? You guessed it. It would be 3, right? So multiply both sides of the equation by 3 to eliminate those denominators. Okay, show all your work, circle your final answer. When you're done, you should see a turn in button in the top right-hand corner. Click turn in, and then it will ask you again to turn it in. Click the blue turn in button. Okay.